this is a disaster. Maybe I should go back to work." A public employee said, "My best friends for years have been the people I worked with every day. Once I retired, I found we didn't have much to talk about beyond business. After several lunches without the business issues to talk about, we drifted apart." An attorney was consumed by his career and had no other interests, hobbies, or plans. He fought his firm's mandatory retirement policy right up to his last day at the office. At a cocktail party, a recently retired hospital CEO complained ceaselessly about his first 6 months in retirement. He was bored. He had nothing to do. His complaints went on and on. A corporate executive who had retired at 65 planned on spending his days playing golf and poker with the guys at the country club. At age 70, he developed severe physical problems that inhibited his golf game. He could still play, but knew his game was deteriorating, and he was no longer competitive with his friends. He decided to give up the game. How does this happen? People approaching retirement tend to get their financial planning done for several reasons. The benefits are obvious. So much help is readily available, and the wealth management industry spends tens of millions on advertising. As well, hundreds of books, workshops, and seminars are available. Why haven't these same smart, successful people paid serious attention to the non-financial dimensions of retirement? Perhaps because most approaching retirement have practically no real-world experience with what people actually do after they retire, not to mention how their lives change. Their parents' retirement experience is outdated for several reasons we'll explore. They know little about how retirees actually live day to day or what issues they face other than the general fact of aging. They don't have much to go on. As they approach retirement, they may still be so consumed by their job that they have little time or energy to really think about it. Often, their most intense, demanding work years are the 3 to 5 years leading up to the retirement, which leaves little time, space, or energy to contemplate retirement's realities. According to one prominent wealth manager and seconded by an experienced psychotherapist, denial is a more likely explanation. Denial is that unconscious psychological defense mechanism people have for avoiding a problem or issue. Why would otherwise thoughtful, prudent individuals not address these important non-financial issues? Because paying attention to fears, feelings, and relationships can be uncomfortable. And planning what is truly the next chapter of your life without a roadmap can seem daunting. Coming to grips with the specifics of retired life and the uncertainties of growing older is challenging and can be stressful and even a bit scary. Bottom line, many otherwise prudent and capable individuals avoid coming to grips with the non-financial issues altogether. Despite all these factors, we were surprised by how eager people were to talk about the problems they had experienced and the insights they had gained. We concluded that, for complex reasons, people rationalize not addressing those non-financial issues but recognize they should. Further, they encouraged us to take on the challenge of writing this book. One said, "It's really important you're doing that. That stuff is every bit as important as the money side, maybe more so." Another said, "Wow, what you guys are doing is really, really needed. I want copies to give to some friends and relatives as soon as it's printed." That framed the question. What would be the most effective way to help people approaching retirement deal with these important, non-financial decisions? The effort involved in doing a good job is not a trivial task. They'll need to examine their habits and behaviors and think deeply about personal values, relationships, and life goals. What's the best way to help? Obviously, every individual's retirement will be unique, so that rules out an owner's manual approach. Everyone has distinct interests, needs, expectations, and limitations. That eliminates the cookbook approach. However, a number of successfully retired people we talked with described dealing with retirement as a journey. They described their retired life as a new adventure. Aha! Something akin to travel. So we've structured this as a guidebook to help you plan the next chapter of your life. To think through this extraordinarily